All right, let's enjoy this early morning break from the heat. That's what we try to do with these temperatures, right? Temperatures warm quickly once the sun comes up later today. Meteorologist Grant Gilmore, your full forecast coming up.
And I'm Hillary Zala. Early commuters are enjoying a stress-free ride right now. This is a live look at the Howard Franklin Bridge. Tampa Bay roads are all up to speed.
Senators are set to question Judge Brett Kavanaugh and his accuser. I'm Mola Lengi on Capitol Hill with a look at what to expect from today's hearing.
And the search is on for a pair of purse snatchers this morning. Police are asking for your help. The video is pretty wild to see. We'll show you that and the suspect coming up in just a few minutes. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is Friday Eve, September 27th. You're up with Brightside. Good morning and thanks for being with us here on 10 News Brightside. I'm Rob Finnerty. Happening today, one of the women accusing Brett Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct will testify on Capitol Hill. And for Supreme Court nominee Kavanaugh, the stakes could not be higher. CBS's Mola Lengi is on the Hill with more.
Are you feeling any nervousness about tomorrow?
Arizona prosecutor Rachel Mitchell will be the face of the Republican Party today when she questions Christine Blasey Ford and Brett Kavanaugh at the Senate Judiciary Committee.
I'd like to see Dr. Ford treated or as if she were my daughter, but I'd like to see Judge Kavanaugh treated as if he were my son.
The 11 Republican men on the committee are expected to have Mitchell do most, if not all, of the questioning on their behalf.
Why are my Republican colleagues hiding behind a special prosecutor?
Democrats will ask their own questions.
I could be persuaded also.
President Trump says he'll listen to Ford today, but added Democrats have destroyed Kavanaugh's reputation.
And they know it's a big, fat con job.
In testimony released ahead of the hearing, Ford says, "I believed he was going to rape me. I tried to yell for help. When I did, Brett put his hand over my mouth to stop me from screaming."
I was never at any such party.
In his prepared remarks, Kavanaugh says, "I never did anything remotely resembling what Dr. Ford describes." Democrats are expected to press Kavanaugh on his history of drinking and behavior as a teenager. Further intensifying today's hearing are new claims of sexual misconduct. In a sworn statement, 55-year-old Julie Swetnick alleges that in high school, Kavanaugh would drink excessively and engage in abusive and physically aggressive behavior towards girls. Kavanaugh says the allegation is from the Twilight Zone, and it never happened. Mola Lengi, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
All right, with more accusers coming forward now, the question, right or wrong, is coming up over and over again, and that is why now? Why are these accusers coming forward now, in some cases almost 40 years later? And Brightside reporter Josh Sidorowitz is here trying to answer that. Josh, we saw the hashtag #WhyIDidn'tReport taking off on social media yesterday.
Right, Rob, good morning to you. Yeah, hundreds of thousands of people, as a matter of fact, they were posting on social media explaining why it took so long for them to report their sexual assault, to tell anybody about it. But for a Tampa woman, well, she says she understands all too well because she says it's her story too. Many listed reasons why they kept quiet for so long. Because I knew it was his word against mine, one tweet read, or because I'm still afraid, said another. Rena Romano, a local author and advocate, says that she was first sexually abused at the age of just 4 years old by her own brother, no less. But she said she didn't tell anybody about it until she was in her 30s on the brink of suicide. Well, now she has written a book. She speaks publicly about it as well. She even appeared on the Oprah show in 2009. She says she's grateful her family believed her when she told them, but she wishes others would get the same benefit of the doubt when they come forward.
When are we going to start respecting women and protecting women? It's not a war against men, women versus men. It's a war against crime.
They're saying it's politically motivated.
It's not politically motivated, my goodness. You know, why would anybody in their right mind subject their family or themselves to this type of violent harassment?
No doubt, though, the added layer of politics in this one has made this even more messy, I think, for everyone talking about this. We've got more of our conversation coming up at 6 o'clock. I'm also looking into, Rob, the statistics when it comes to the prevalence of false reporting, how prevalent it actually is, and why it's actually so difficult to properly and accurately quantify that. We'll explain that.
Well, politics is, we're 40 days away from the midterms right now, so
Sure.
I think it's safe to say that this plays some role in that. Again, this is going to be must-watch TV. We're going to be streaming the entire testimony on our 10 News Facebook page starting at 10 o'clock. The President of the United States said yesterday in a press conference in New York he'll be watching
He'll be
as
listening,
well.
yes.
Josh, we'll check back with you next hour. Let's send it over to Grant right now for a look at the forecast. Grant, some wonderful news yesterday. Not fall-like temperatures, but we didn't go 3 for 3 with setting records.
Right. No broken record yesterday, but no, we sound like a broken record.
Right.
So there's that. High temp yesterday was 93. The record was 94. So just a skosh off of that record high temp. Here's where we are right now. 76 in Mulberry. Good morning, Bartow. 77. Wesley Chapel, you're at 76 degrees. Tampa, St. Pete, 79 and 81 degrees. Relatively cool. Can we call it cool? We'll just say relatively not so hot. Cool with a K. There you go. I like your style, Rob. Storms that were up along the Nature Coast late last night have drifted to the north. We've got mostly clear conditions across the rest of the area. So good looking day ahead. Just another hot day. Temperatures around 93 degrees. Guys, only a 20% chance for a late afternoon storm. That means the heat will be in full force. Feels like temps this afternoon back up around 100 to 105 degrees.
It is just about 5:06 on your Thursday or Friday Eve, as we like to call it here on Brightside. I'm Hillary Zala. There's a crash in Thenodisassa that just cleared here in Hillsborough County, so US 301 at Walker Road. If you saw this on your maybe GPS system or on my Twitter page, you would have seen that it happened just about an hour ago. And again, I just found out it is not there anymore. Now here's a live look at the Howard Franklin Bridge, 275 on the Tampa side, right as you get off before Kennedy Boulevard and the Tampa International Airport exit. Your travel across is 6 minutes. Once we get into rush hour, it will be about 8 or 9 minutes. Rob.
All right, Hillary, today the woman accused of trying to burn down a home in Pasco County is expected in court. Brandi Corrigan is trying to get her bond reduced. Last month, Pasco County deputies say she set fire to her home while trying to take things out of the home during a separation with her husband. They say she doused their dogs with gasoline. She's now facing several charges, including animal cruelty charges. And developing this morning, a Hillsborough County Fire Rescue lieutenant is out of a job, fired over how he responded to a 911 call that ended with a woman's death. 3 other fire paramedics were disciplined. On July 4th, Crystal Galloway passed out days after giving birth by C-section. And an investigation found that the 4 paramedics who responded didn't check her vitals or take her to the hospital. Galloway died after her mom drove her to the hospital in her own car a short time later.
I will never call 911 under any circumstances. I will die first or die trying to get to the hospital.
They did everything they could. What more? I can't wrestle you to the ground and make you let me treat you.
Nicole Black, who's Crystal's mom, says she hasn't ruled out filing a lawsuit against the county. The paramedics do plan to appeal the county's decision. In Pinellas County, deputies released new interrogation video showing Michael Drejka explaining to detectives why he shot and killed Marquise McLaughlin in the parking lot of a Clearwater convenience store. Drejka detailed the few seconds between McLaughlin shoving him to the ground and the deadly shot that ended up killing him.
And as I come up this way, because I have to come up off my hand, all right, I bring the gun out with me. And as I'm coming back this way, I can't support it, so I hit this.
Okay.
And
what does he do?
As I come out like this, he's taking his step.
Okay. Taking a step?
Taking his steps towards me.
Okay. How close does he get to you before you fire the gun?
Maybe to the front tire.
So show me where. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay, so right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he charging after you?
2 steps running.
Okay. Well, you're saying he was running?
Well, it would have been running when he got out of behind the car.
Okay.
The autopsy report confirms that McLaughlin was turning away from Drejka at the time of that shooting. We've got that video posted to our website, WTSP.com. Check this out. Right now, a pair of thieves are on the loose. This is video from the Publix on South Dale Maybury in Tampa last week. Watch the woman in orange as she walks outside. Officers say the man took her purse right out of her shopping cart, then got into a getaway car with a woman driving. The woman ran after him. She grabbed her purse back and was then dragged partially through the parking lot there. We've posted descriptions of the man and the woman driving that car on our website, WTSP.com. Check it out if you think you might know who they are. Well, good morning, everybody. It is a Thursday morning. You are up with Brightside. Happy Friday Eve, as we call it here on the show. Check Check out this live shot out of Tierra Verde this morning. Going to be another nice day. Going to be another hot day. When we come back, we'll check in with Grant for your full forecast. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Stay with us. Good morning, I'm Rob Finnerty. As you wake up on this Thursday morning, a briefing on the new bed tower at James Haley Veterans Hospital will happen a little bit later this morning. Ground broke on the new 4-story building last month. It's expected to be completed by 2021. That briefing starts at 11:30 at Hunter's Green Golf and Country Club in New Tampa. Jameis Winston expected to talk to the media again today at One Buck Place. Winston is back with the team after serving his 3-game suspension. Bucs head coach Dirk Carter has not named a starting quarterback publicly for Sunday's game against the Bears, but he says the team has made a decision. And Publix is making some sort of special mystery announcement this morning at 9 o'clock at their corporate headquarters out in Lakeland. We don't know much about it, but the supermarket chain did say it's big. And today, FEMA will be holding a flood map meeting in Pinellas County. The agency will be going over the flood insurance rate changes. Today's meeting will be at the Seminole Recreation Center. There will be 2 sessions. The first one starts at 10 o'clock this morning. The second one starts at 6 o'clock this evening. And Grant, a lot of this is happening as a result of Hurricane Irma.
Irma, right? Yeah. And we'll continue to be talking about Irma and the impacts and what we learned and how we can improve and be better prepared for the next storm. There will be another storm at some point. We just have to be prepared for it and keep our eyes out to see when that might be. But for the time being, no concerns right now, though there is a tropical storm to talk about. We'll get to that in just a few seconds. Let's talk heat, though. Whew. It's been a hot week, hasn't it? I mean, thank goodness we're almost to the weekend. Today, forecast 93, the record's 95 degrees. I think that record is safe. Not the case, though, earlier this week, Monday and Tuesday. We broke the record right there with highs over 95. Yesterday's 93-degree high, just shy of the record of 94. Now, Saturday and Sunday, the record is 93, and I'm forecasting a high temperature of 93. So it looks like as we wrap up September, we'll be dealing with record, if not just near record temperatures, which puts us at probably the hottest September on record for us here in Tampa Bay. Up to this year, 2016 holds the spot for the record hottest September, but 2017 not far behind with the average temperature of 83.4. So far, September 2018, the average temperature 85.8 degrees. So it looks like we will probably blow the record out of the water, at least a couple degrees warmer than the old record. In the meantime, we've got partly cloudy skies there in Sarasota, finding great conditions at the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall right now. Obviously, it's dark, and that means temperatures are at least on the cooler side, 75 degrees, I should say, relatively cooler side. Relative humidity is at 96%. Winds coming in out of the east-northeast at 5 miles per hour. Those winds will shift to the south and west later this afternoon. So that may play a part in some of those airborne toxins with red tide down towards Sarasota, also in the Pinellas County area down toward Pasadena. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. So just be mindful of that if you're heading to the beach today. Temperatures are in the middle and upper 70s. Wind temperatures at 81 degrees in St. Petersburg. 73 though in Brooksville. Not bad up your way. Those storms that moved through at the Nature Coast late last night, those have dissipated and continued to drift to the north, not finding out anything else on the satellite and radar this morning, and that should give us a great start to our day. But temperatures warming quickly. Starting off in the upper 70s, we'll peak around 93 this afternoon. Only a 20% chance for a few late afternoon and evening storms. Watch a futurecast. Let's give you an idea of how those storms may develop later on today. Not much through lunchtime. In fact, not much through most of the afternoon. Maybe a spotty shower or two as we head through 6 and 7 o'clock. Now, futurecast is saying that we may see some storms into the overnight. That's yet to be determined. I'm not overly confident that we see that. Overall, a 20% chance of rain through the overnight hours. And then we'll see partly cloudy to mostly clear skies as we go into tomorrow afternoon with just a 20 to 30% chance of rain. Here's Tropical Storm Kirk approaching the Lesser Antilles about 40 miles or so east of Barbados. So this storm is moving to the west. Once it moves into the Caribbean, this system weakens quickly. A lot of wind shear in the Caribbean right now, and so as the system moves farther to the west, it will slowly deteriorate as it moves closer to the Hispaniola and then eventually moving closer to Jamaica as well. So no concerns there. 93 out there for us this afternoon, 20% chance of rain, 20% chance of rain, guys, through our weekend. So small rain chances for the foreseeable future. Even that slight uptick of rain chance through next week, only a 30% chance with highs staying above normal in the low 90s. All right, let's go get our first check on traffic. Good morning,
Yes,
Hillary.
good morning, Grant. We have a couple of accidents that just popped up, but overall it has been a pretty quiet morning so far.
That's good, so far.
Yeah, so far,
Yes.
I always say. All right, let's take a look here in Polk County along I-4. There's a crash just north of downtown Lakeland along I-4 at US 98, and this one is off to the side, so it's not blocking any of the main interstate lanes, but this is going eastbound. So away from Polk Parkway towards Polk Parkway East, and it looks like we have a slight delay getting onto the interstate, so quite possibly the crash is right near the entrance ramp on the highway there. Our other accident is in Manatee County, and this one is in Bradenton, just to the east of I-75 along State Road 70, right at Lakewood Ranch Boulevard, so through the Lakewood Ranch area. Notice eastbound traffic on 70 is down to 42 miles per hour. There is a bit of a delay coming from the highway and then approaching this crash because there is a lane blocked here, so that's typical. Not a serious delay or anything, no need to take a detour, but just a heads up, you'll see a slowdown. Here's a live look at I-4 through downtown Tampa. This is right near the exit 1, so near downtown, approaching 275. We're looking west, which means traffic going away from the camera is heading into downtown, and then this eastbound traffic heading towards I-75. Your travel time between 75 and 275 is 9 minutes, and that's it. So that's looking great. No traffic at that malfunction junction just yet. So it's not malfunctioning just yet. Here's downtown St. Pete. Notice 275 in the green, as well as 4th Street and MLK, so no crashes reported here. I do have some cool news, though. This morning, Allegiant Airlines is planning a big surprise for its customers as it celebrates having taken 40 million travelers through Florida. So this is a surprise, so we don't even know what Allegiant has planned, but it's taking place at 8:45 this morning at Sarasota Bradenton International Airport at the fountain near the first level ticketing area, and I have an idea that maybe they're going to be giving out free flights, just like tossing them out to everybody. That's what I hope, at least.
Really?
I don't know, that's my guess.
Wow.
That'd be the best gift, right?
Publix and Allegiant, a lot of secrets on the broadcast today. I like that. Well, robots are the wave of the future, but they have to be built by some pretty amazing minds. Good morning. Thanks for being with us here on Brightside. Robotics teams from across the state will be at USF this weekend to compete in Roboticon. And Brightside Sean Stryker caught up with one of the local teams as they got their robot ready for competition.
So to the left stick forward should drive it forward.
So press this up. Oh. Today I'm hanging out with the Eggard Allen Ohms as they prepare for Roboticon.
Brains over brawn.
No, I unplugged it because we had to plug in the Ethernet.
The Eggard Allen Ohms are a first robotics competition team based out of the Land O'Lakes Public Library.
I've wanted to do robotics since I was like a young kid.
We actually make sure that we're having fun while being on the team and not just, oh, hey, you're coming here and you're doing work this entire time.
Now, each year, first robotic competition teams have to build a completely new robot. They have 6 weeks to design, test, and build a robot that completes a specific task.
This robot had to pick up cubes and deposit them in scales in which to score points over time.
This weekend, they will take on 22 other robotics teams from around the state at the 6th annual Roboticon.
It's amazing. I was the driver last year, and you never get a feeling like that anywhere else.
The benefits of robotics goes beyond the competition. These young men and women say it's preparing them for their future.
We build this robot in 6 weeks, so we learn about deadlines and business along with all the principles of like design and the process of how you go through building a robot.
It's helped me a lot because it gives me the experience I needed for it. Like just getting like my feet wet in the world of engineering.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing to see what these young men and women do in such a short period of time. So this is a kind of like a preseason tournament. Their actual season kicks off in a couple weeks. That's when they announce the goal of that competition, because each year it changes. The robot has to do something different.
And if you win this, I mean, there are scholarships that are out there.
There's scholarships.
There's not like a cash prize, though, right?
No. But there are scholarships, and I read something about robotics, and First Robotics is that kids that participate, they all go pro in some way. So
That's
whether it's not professional athletes, but they go pro whether they're engineers or architects.
Engineers
So
or
it's
something. I mean,
really
talk
cool.
about a way to differentiate yourself from everybody else on your college
And one other thing,
application.
Roboticon completely free, so you can go watch it.
Roboticon. Fun to watch as well. All right, Sean, thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being up with Brightside on this Thursday morning, Friday Eve. Let's take a live look at Prague in the Czech Republic right now, about 11:25 a.m. there, 60 degrees, so they're getting that fall weather that Grant says is not going to be headed our way this weekend. We'll check in with him in a little bit. This shot courtesy of EarthCam. We'll be right back. Well, the pressure is on. Today, Brett Kavanaugh and his first accuser will be questioned by senators before tomorrow's Supreme Court confirmation vote.
And the heat is on, right?
Again and again and again and again.
and again. 93 out there this afternoon, guys. Not quite a record, but unseasonably hot for the rest of the week.
And the roads are still up to speed, as you can see here in downtown Tampa, but I'll show you what you need to know before you go.
All right, Hillary, get this. You spend at least 40 hours a week working, taking calls, answering emails, but are those emails you answer at home really worth the added stress?
It does cause some stress.
Yes,
and
it does.
everybody's talking about what's trending this morning, from the first all-female NFL broadcast to the world's first iPhone headstone. I'll be tracking all those things for you.
All right, good morning, everybody. I'm Rob Finnerty. It is a Thursday morning, September the 27th. You're up with Brightside. Good morning and thanks for being with us here on Brightside. It is a big day on Capitol Hill today. Both Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and his accuser Christine Blasey Ford will tell their sides of the story. This story has gripped the nation for almost the past 2 weeks. 11 days ago, Blasey Ford went public with sexual assault accusations against Brett Kavanaugh when they were at a high school party in the early 1980s. She says he tried to rape her at that party. Blasey Ford is the first of 5 women now to accuse Kavanaugh of misconduct in some form. In the meantime, Kavanaugh denies all accusations made against him, and he will defend himself a little bit later this morning. And coming up at 6 o'clock here on Brightside, CBS's Mola Lenghi will join us live from Capitol Hill with more on what we can expect throughout the day today. Those hearings start at 10 a.m. At the White House, President Trump is scheduled to meet with Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein today. That meeting's still on right now. On Wednesday, the president was asked if he plans to fire Rod Rosenstein. The president said he would prefer to keep him, adding that he could delay their meeting until the Kavanaugh hearing is over today. So again, that all starts at 10. You can stream it live on our Facebook page or watch it right here on 10 News. Grant?
Temperatures obviously have been hot recently, but at least the morning hours, it's a little more comfortable. It's still humid though. We can't get away from that yet. 79 degrees right now in Tampa, 81 in St. Pete. Lakeland not reporting as of the top of the hour, 75 degrees in Sarasota. Everybody, for the most part, finding temperatures in the middle and upper 70s this morning. No rain right now, though, overnight along the Nature Coast. Wow, that was a good thunderstorm that tracked to the north. That is all clear. We are finding mostly clear skies right now. Plenty of sunshine on tap for us today. At the bus stop, temperatures will be around 79 degrees. Sunrise at 7:21. Heating up quickly by lunchtime and recess, 87 degrees. The ride home, temperatures will be in the low 90s with only a 20% chance of rain. You can get our forecast on the radio. Our radio partners are the Dove 105.5, the Eagle 107.3, Hitland 106.9 in Sarasota, and Magic 94.9.
It is 5:32. I'm Hillary Zala. Let's get a check of traffic now. Here is a live look at the Sunshine Skyway Bridge for you. This is the south end of the bridge, so closer to Manatee County. And the camera just seems to be a little shaky because it's loose. There's not a lot of wind out there or anything. So no high wind advisory on the Skyway. Your travel time looking good at 16 minutes. Between 275 in Ellington and Pinellas Point Drive. And here's a look at downtown Tampa. I want to get you a drive time on the Selman Expressway. It's in the green from 75 to Gandy, so the entire stretch. And it's taking you 13 minutes. When we get into rush hour, that will get up to about 17 or 20 minutes. Rob?
All right, Hillary, thank you. We are in that 3-day period each week where we get 2 updates from FWC and don't get anything for 4 days. The next red tide map will come out tomorrow afternoon. What you're looking at is Wednesday's map, which came out Wednesday afternoon. It did show some improvement in certain areas. There was Less high concentration markers off the coast of Pinellas and Collier counties, but the bloom is still plaguing 135 miles of Gulf coastline and fish kills, and respiratory problems are still being reported locally here. If you're planning to head out to the Gulf on a fishing trip over the weekend, a heads up for you right now. Starting tomorrow, new fishing restrictions will take effect in Pasco and Pinellas counties. And Brightside's Emerald Morrow is live in Tierra Verde this morning. Emerald, the state desperately trying to save fish populations, and they are taking this very, very seriously.
I mean, Rob, you have to, right? I mean, it seems like every single day that we're out here, we're showing you more and more video of dead fish that are all in our waterways. So very heartbreaking. But, you know, starting tomorrow, as you said, if you want to head out on the water here in Pinellas County or up in Pasco County, and you want to catch certain fish, if you do catch them, you're going to have to put some of them back. And this is going to apply to any snook or redfish that you find. And FWC, they already had these restrictions in place in counties south of the Tampa Bay area, like near Naples. But now that the toxic red tide bloom keeps pushing north, environmental officials are putting those restrictions out for us as well. Now, in terms of how this is impacting people, those taking part in things like fishing tournaments, they're having to adjust by taking photos and using measuring sticks of their catches before returning them to sea. It's just a small price to pay to help save the marine life being decimated by red tide.
It keeps your fishery strong, rather than just taking something and throwing it in the bottom of the boat and you never eat it or anything. As long as you're keeping the fish population up, it can only help you. As soon as you deplete the fish population, there's no fish. It's that simple.
And of course, FWC is keeping an eye on the red tide bloom, and we will expect another update tomorrow. In the meantime, please keep these catch and release orders in mind when you head out on the waters this weekend, because, you know, anything that we can do to help the environment, we all have a big responsibility to do that, especially with this situation that we have with red tide. Rob.
All right, Emerald Morrow live in Tierra Verde for us this morning. Thousands of fish have been killed. Today there will be a red tide protest calling for Governor Rick Scott to do more to get rid of the toxic red tide bloom. Local environmental activists and homeowners, as well as business owners affected by the bloom, will be at Pier 60 Park in Clearwater demanding answers from the outgoing governor. And remember, as always, if you have any questions about red tide, where it is, how it could affect you, we've got a special section dedicated to red tide on our website. It's WTSP.com/red tide.
All right, let's jump right into everything social to see what you all are seeing and sharing on social media right now. It's our digital dive, and I love it when women break down barriers and make history. That is happening tonight. Check it out. This is trending on Twitter. Thursday Night Football will be featured on Amazon Prime for 11 games this season. But guess who's going to be broadcasting those games? Hannah Storm and Andrea Kramer will become the first all-female duo to broadcast an NFL game. Kramer told NFL.com, "We aim to bring viewers the same game, just with different voices and perspectives."
Pretty cool. I mean, it took long enough.
I love this. I think it's a great way to also get women more interested in the game.
Right.
So it's definitely something, if I could stay awake past 7 o'clock,
Yeah,
I would be
you
watching.
and me both. You'll still have the option to listen to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman too.
That's right. Okay, check this out. I love my iPhone. Trust me, I do. I have it with me all the time. It's practically attached to me, but I'm not sure I want it buried with me. Now, this is a little different. This woman in Russia, her family had a headstone made to look like an iPhone, complete with the profile picture and everything. This is Rita Shamiva. She died a few years ago, but her family had this headstone added just recently. I think it would be good, and I'm not really hating on this. I'm really not.
No.
It's really a statement in our society, because I mean, you think about our iPhones. I think they should actually have a button where you could press and hear like a voice message from her. You know, like if you went to, like I'm not hating on this. It's awkward for us to see because it is a true statement on how much we are addicted to our phones. But,
right. But think about it like this: like 100 years from now, when somebody walks through the graveyard, they'll be like, "What is that?"
Well,
you know?
no, there'll be 100 more iPhone headstones.
Right? Yeah, the updated version.
All right, guys. Anyone go to Starbucks and look at their coffee cup and see that they've spelled your name wrong, or they put the complete wrong name on your cup? This is all over Twitter, and I'm loving it. It's cracking me up. This guy's name, you can see it's kind of a different name, Siraj, and they wrote syringe on the side. All right, this one's good.
Family name.
This girl, you know, her name's Lucy. You'd think they could get that right. It's spelled Lousi.
That's not even a spelling of Lucy that I've ever seen in my life.
I know. Hillary, have you ever had him get your name wrong?
Yeah, they usually just spell it with 2 L's, and then I've seen Hilarie.
Okay, all right. And Rob, have you ever had this
Yeah,
happen?
to be honest, I get Ralph all the time.
What?
Because I kind of say it, and I look at it, I'm like, Ralph?
Do you say your name in a Boston accent or something?
I didn't order this. Sometimes.
And then this last one, of course, Spencer came out censor. I don't know, I love it. I want to go to Starbucks now, and I don't know if it's because I want coffee or because I just want to see how they spell my name. I mean, how do you get Jenny wrong, right? It'll come with an IE.
You're right, exactly.
Exactly.
All right, those are your trending stories right now.
All right, Jenny, thank you. Keel Hoff and his family got stranded on their boat on the Columbia River in St. Helens, Oregon. With options running out, Keel's wife posted on a Facebook group for help, basically asking on their Facebook group. And a man who came out to the rescue them was not only a good Samaritan, somebody doing the right thing late at night, by the way. This man was also the town's mayor. That story in this morning's Heart Threads. When a family found themselves stranded on a river, the city's mayor came to the rescue. Keel Hoff, along with his wife and son, only planned to be on the boat for a few hours. But it died just as they were about to head back to the marina, stranding them on the Columbia River in St. Helens, Oregon.
I could have stranded my family out there all night.
They called a boat rescue company, but it would have cost more than $500 to get a tow. Around 10:30 at night, they were out of food and water and started to panic. That's when Keel's wife got the idea to post on a community Facebook group. Rick Scholl saw the post and left home to rescue the family. He also happens to be the city's mayor.
It's something I would have done, mayor or no mayor. I've lived on this river all my life, and we don't leave a fellow boater stranded. We just don't. It's an old code.
It took Rick just 22 minutes to get there, and he pulled the grateful family to shore.
We can't always do everything for people, but we know when it's our turn, and it just felt like that.
You know, the boating community is really like that. They really all help each other out. And when you're out on a boat or whatever, you know, everybody waves to each other.
Love that. I love that.
I know. And when you're in trouble, they come over and they
Johnny!
check on you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's such a good
We
point.
made it. We're doing it.
Yes.
We're out there.
And I love how the
it's
mayor
great.
came out to help. That's awesome.
I know.
I love
Mayor.
when mayors get involved like that. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you never see them in some cities, and then sometimes they're like super active.
Yes.
Seriously.
And they make a good point, like boat tow or sea tow,
Yeah.
it's really expensive.
It
So
is.
Yes,
you don't
it
want to do
is.
that sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
have
yeah.
the mayor come out. All right, we will be right back. Stay with Brightside. Good morning. Thanks for being with us here on Brightside. You are up with Brightside on this Thursday morning. You're taking a live look right now at the Russell Senate Office Building. You can see it in the upper left-hand side of your screen there. To the right would be the U.S. Capitol Building, and these are all people that are waiting to get in some capacity or protest outside the hearings today. Brett Kavanaugh and Christine Blasey Ford, his accuser, will be speaking at 10 a.m. this morning. The hearing expected to last up to 5 hours. That's about 4.5 hours from now. You can watch that right here on 10 News and stream it all day on our 10 News Facebook page. Good morning. I'm Rob Finnerty. Making headlines on this Thursday morning, the Fed has raised interest rates another quarter point, the central bank's third increase of 2018. The Fed projected the U.S. economy is expected to expand by more than 3% this year, which hasn't happened since 2005. Florida will get $8.2 million of the $148 million payout in the Uber data breach settlement. Uber learned in November 2016 that hackers got the personal information of nearly 600,000 drivers and acknowledged the breach a year ago. All 50 states sued, saying Uber violated a law requiring them to notify people about that breach.
5:45, Rob, on your what?
Friday
Eve. There we go.
We got to hashtag that out. Josh Adorowitz sent out a little Friday Eve something or other this
nice
morning.
reminder.
Yeah, thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
Good stuff.
Yeah, he's busy working for the next hour.
Plugging away.
Hey, guys, speaking of the weekend, 93 degrees out there on Saturday afternoon. Mostly sunny skies, 20% chance of rain. Sunday, carbon copy day, almost the exact forecast. 20% chance, maybe a few more clouds through Sunday afternoon. Here's the thing, though. 93 degrees, you might expect that in July, August, but late September, a little bit out of the ordinary. In fact, that would be a record, or at least tie the record high temperature on Saturday and Sunday. We did not tie the record yesterday, even though we had a high of 93. Yesterday's record high was 94. Monday, Tuesday, through the roof. 95 degrees both Monday and Tuesday. The next couple of days, temperatures will stay near 93. I think our records are intact for today and tomorrow. The record highs are 95 degrees. A live look from downtown, or at least near Sarasota, downtown Sarasota. Van Wezel performing Arts Hall. Looks like we have some low cloud cover in the area, maybe more of a misty fog as we get those temperatures closer to that dew point of 74. It's 75 in Sarasota right now. Relative humidity at 96%. Any of that low cloud cover that we have around the area this morning will clear out pretty quickly. A lot of sunshine ahead for us today. Temperatures around the region generally in the middle and upper 70s. We've got 79 in Tampa, Riverview just down the road, 75 degrees for you. 76 in Wesley Chapel, across the bay over in St. Pete, 81 degrees right now. Temperatures hold off on warming until around 8:30. So if you're looking to get that morning workout in, just know you're good up until around 8:30, and then temperatures begin to skyrocket. Clear skies out there after those morning storms up along the Nature Coast. That means a lot of sunshine. So with that, temperatures warming right back into the 90s once again. Your normal high temperature is 88 degrees, so warmer than normal to say the least. 93 is what the thermometer will read, but it will feel more like around 100 to 105 degrees with the humidity. Only a 20% chance for an isolated shower late this afternoon that will carry over into the first half of the overnight. Here's how it looks on the Futurecast. Let's give you an idea of what the satellite and radar may look like as we go throughout the day today. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy conditions. If we see rain today, again, it's only a 20% chance. It looks more likely east of I-75. So through the central part of the state, maybe a lingering shower or two as we go into the overnight, and then everything dies down, and we'll keep that 20% chance of rain as we go through the next several days. 20% chance of showers and storms on Saturday and Sunday. Next week, 30% chance of rain, temperatures staying on the warmer side in the lower 90s.
All right, well, we just almost made it to 6 o'clock without any crashes, but it is 5:47 and we have 2 crashes on I-75. This first one is in Hillsborough County along 75, just north of I-4. And you can see you have Florida Highway Patrol on scene. There are 2 vehicles in the right shoulder and then some more on the left. So this is a multi-car crash. Doesn't sound like anyone was hurt. I haven't seen an ambulance or anything, but this is definitely going to slow down traffic heading southbound if this stays for the 6 o'clock hour into morning rush hour. So far, though, you can see traffic is running very smoothly. And your travel time is 15 minutes as you head south from the Apex down to the Selman Expressway. Now here's a look at I-75 through Sarasota, where we have our other crash. This one is just south of Fruitville Road, north of Clark Road, right in between those 2 interchanges. It's in the northbound direction going towards Fruitville. Your travel time isn't affected by it, even though this is blocking the right lane. So it's taking you 12 minutes still from the Venice Connector all the way to University Parkway. So again, the right lane is blocked here, but we're not seeing a big delay. Here's a look in Pinellas County through Clearwater along US 19. It is taking you 10 minutes between Gulf to Bay Boulevard and Gandy Boulevard. And Polk County, I just checked with the Florida Highway Patrol. No crashes reported. The I-4 corridor is very quiet.
All right, Hillary, here's a little question for you.
Oh, yes. Well, first of all, Rob, I wanted to show you 275
show me
south
this.
of Roosevelt Boulevard, but I know you have a question for me. I have a question for you.
Hillary, stop. I have a question.
What do you think the travel time is here?
I think it's pretty smooth. Smooth sailing.
It's 10 minutes from
Roosevelt.
Gandy to the Skyway.
Yeah.
All right, over to you.
Excellent. There we go. Now let's do it. I like that shot, though.
Thank you.
All right. Here's a question for you, Jenny. How often, and Hillary, Grant, you can be a part
And
of
anyone
this.
else who wants to
Anyone
chime
else?
in?
Folks at home, how often do you check your work emails once you leave the station?
All the time.
Really?
All the time.
Constantly?
Yes.
Right up until bed?
Unfortunately, yes.
Jenny, that is a no, 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 no.
Yes, I know.
All right, big time. We get a lot of emails here at the station. I'm sure you get a lot of emails when it comes to work, and sometimes it's tough to put that phone away and not check those emails. But now you've got a great excuse. So new research says that checking work messages constantly, whether you're in the office or not, is actually bad for your health. The study looked at more than 100 employees who worked at least 30 hours a week. Researchers found employees who were expected to check their messages after hours had much higher anxiety levels than people who didn't. It also put a ton of stress in their relationships.
The expectation that you'd be available via email or text or phone or whatever creates stress and strain on people, even if nobody ever contacts them. Just the idea that they have to be in that situation, it keeps a level of vigilance and a level of tension going on with them.
I mean, I have a general rule. If the word vigilance is being used, it's probably not a great thing.
Right.
Dr. Rock says the human brain is wired for short periods of stress and it takes a while to recover. So when we're constantly checking emails and taking calls from work, that interrupts that all-important recovery process, and we've all got an opinion about this, I'm sure.
They spent money to study this?
Right.
I could have told them that. I mean, I could have told them
So
that.
you don't have like a cut time with the emails?
Sadly, no.
Grant, do you?
No, I mean, you got to know if something's happening. I mean,
we work in news.
Yeah.
Weather's always happening, news always happening.
Management, if you're watching.
He checks his email all the time.
Rob has a cut time.
He wakes up every hour to check his email.
Oh, I grab my phone. I'll check it right now. Hold on. No, we're good. We're good. All right, so check those emails, but
Don't. It'll cause you stress.
All right. This is one of the goofiest stories we've got for you on Brightside this week. I'll give you one hint. Moose poop art.
Oh, check that email.
All right, welcome back to Brightside. We're talking about a very interesting arts and craft project that we just teased a little bit here. It's a Maine resident who's shaking things up in a big way. Mary Witchenbach is her name, and she is taking the saying, one person's trash is another person's treasure to new, very smelly, very interesting depths. Let's take the video here. Her company is called Turdy Works.
Oh.
I think you can probably imagine where this one is going. She's not wearing gloves, if you notice. It's not guano. The main material she works with for her arts and crafts is real live moose poop, which they apparently have in abundance in the state of Maine, which is known as vacation land, as appealing as that sounds. Take a listen.
Now over here we make fecal people. And depending upon the shape of them middle turds right there, we can do them with big boobs or guts or butts or long legs or short legs. See, because there's no two turds that are ever alike. You ever seen a turd, the two turds alike?
All right, I'm just going to say, I'm going to disregard the script right now. I would pay a pretty high dollar amount just to spend an afternoon with her.
I want her to make the Brightside crew out of fecal people.
Fecal people.
Wouldn't take much.
So who's buying these? That's my question.
People.
Sure.
People that want some fecal in their lives.
Well, it's gone viral, so I mean, clearly people are
You see the
interested
poop,
in this.
You see the poop pops? Those look kind of
the poop pops.
No, my favorite is the clock where she shows and she goes through and she says, "Here it's 1:30," and then it's
Oh my God!
I thought that was just her main,
really funny.
her main
That's
accent
cute.
over there. Mary's artwork has gone viral. Turdy Works can be found on Facebook if you are interested in making a purchase, Grant. So how about that?
Yeah.
Spicing up
Christmas gifts.
Christmas
I don't
shopping
know.
ready right now.
Get it done.
Yeah. She follows the moose around the woods.
Oh, and that is, she picks up
she feeds him some prunes, and all of a sudden, boom,
and everything's
fecal people
going. All right, 93 this afternoon, 20% chance for a few late afternoon storms. We're keeping 93 on the board as we go through the weekend.
All right, more Brightside coming up on the other side. Let's take a live look at the Russell Senate office building on Capitol Hill. Major testimony coming up at 10 o'clock this morning. We'll have more on that in 3 minutes. Stay with us.